Hello, everybody. This is Steve Yoder. Welcome to Legal Studies 457-557, Business Law for Accountants, here in the spring of 2025 at the UAB Collat School of Business. Every Monday morning, I'll be posting a preview video like this of what's coming up in the next week. This is our video for the week starting March 17th. Make sure you're prepared for an online course. Lots of resources suggested in Canvas. Look at this particular part of the course and tips for success. In each of the three learning modules, there are several sets of learning activities. For example, in week 1, we'll be covering the legal environment. Week 2, courts and alternative dispute resolution. And in week 3, still in module 1, we'll be starting our very important look at the law of contracts. We are in a very, very unusual time right now here in the United States when you combine a Republican president with a Republican-controlled House of Representatives and a Republican-controlled United States Senate, and add to that 6 of the 9 justices of the United States Supreme Court being appointed originally by a Republican president. That adds up to a great deal of change, and you'll be seeing this orange warning box throughout the 7 weeks, and it is going to actually be happening. The change is actually going to be happening in real time. If the first 7 weeks of the administration of Donald Trump is going to continue as it has. We always start with the concept of the rule of law when looking at the legal environment in the United States. On his first day in office under President Biden, Attorney General Merrick Garland gave an impassioned speech about the importance of rule of law, and that video is in the learning module. President Trump's Attorney General, Pam Bondi, did not do so. I'm not saying that's good or bad, but there is a contrast there. Here's a map of the world from 2005. Countries marked in green very closely follow the rule of law. That is, they respect laws once they've been passed. They apply them fairly to all people. No favoritism. You can see the other colors are not green, and the further you get away from green towards red and pink, the less the rule of law is followed. There are some people who believe that the rule of law is eroding in the United States, and in any event, I think it's fair to say that there is change going on. Here are the laws that affect business decision making. We will be looking mainly at the laws in the top half of this chart. Right now, CPAs and accountants do not practice in the same firm. You as a CPA will get asked legal questions, and lawyers will get asked accounting questions, but there may be change afoot. At least one of the big 4 accounting firms, KPMG, has gotten permission from the state of Arizona to allow the practice of law to occur inside the same organization as the practice of accounting. We get our law from several different sources, including the U.S. Constitution, in the upper left-hand corner. This graphic is in your textbook. It has been a bedrock principle of our legal system that the courts have the final say in what the other 2 branches do, including when Congress passed the Affordable Care Act in 2012. It was challenged as not being constitutional in the courts, but the court said it was constitutional. There is some doubt today as to whether that feeling is still as strong, that principle is still as strong. 2 people being considered for the next 2 from the top positions in the Department of Justice refused to say whether they would follow the court order that might come down, a court order that might come down. Here is a opportunity for an extra credit, points, 2 points added to your first exam if you, by Sunday night, March 23rd. Tell me at least one example of how a court has so far, after President Trump took office and issued executive orders. Give me one example at least of one of those executive orders being barred, being stopped by the courts. J.D. Vance, the vice president, does not agree with courts doing that, as you can see in his ex post here. Another bedrock principle of the United States is that once a case has been decided, another case coming along with the same set of facts and the same set of laws has to be followed the same way as the prior one. That was the case for over 50 years in Roe versus Wade, not taking a position one way or another as to whether the Constitution guaranteed women the right to an abortion under any circumstances. But after 52 years, Roe versus Wade was not followed in Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. And that could mean that this principle as well, of stare decisis, which means to follow the decision, is maybe going away. And that could lead to some pretty significant uncertainty. Looking ahead in the course, you will be introducing yourselves by Sunday night, March 23rd, to each other and to me using the VoiceThread technology, video and audio, please. On April 2nd, which is a Wednesday, some of you will have simulations between a CPA and a client due, also using VoiceThread. Remember, in this course, quizzes and other assignments come up and then they go away, so you can't back and load your work, certainly not to the very end of the 7 weeks, but also really not beyond 1 week, because once something closes, it's not available and those points would not be available. Here's the calendar. Today is the 17th. Again, your VoiceThread introductions are due on Sunday night, March 23rd. There's also a quiz due that night. And there are quizzes due on Sunday night, March 30th. And then the first set of CPA client simulations are due on Wednesday, April 2nd. So let's get started. Welcome to the course. I'm delighted to have all of you in Legal Studies 457, 557 this semester.